Hi everyone. So today is Wednesday. Yeah, okay, today's Wednesday. I'm sorry. My days are a little off because it's after 12 o'clock. It's almost 1 o'clock actually. Don't start on focusing on me because I'm really pissed off today. So, okay, for those of you who've actually watched some of my videos, you know that I have a Ford Windstar, and back in September, I actually took my Windstar into a Ford dealership because it had been recalled. So, 6 months later, I still don't have my van. Alright, but I found something out very interesting today. Alright, so I'm going to just run down a little timeline for you, and then I'll explain why I'm a little pissed. Well, I'm not really a little pissed off. I'm very pissed off. So, in late August, I think it's the last week of August, I saw on Channel 2 News that Ford was recalling Windstars, which, you know, fine, okay. So I waited for my letter and waited for my letter and never got one, so I figured I was never going to get one, so I turned it in to Ford on September 21st. And they said, oh, it's going to be no problem, it should take a month. So I said, alright, that's no problem, so on and so forth. So a month comes and goes, and I don't hear anything. So I called them up one day. I said, well, you know, I turned in my car, my van a month ago. I said, you told me it was going to be a month. I haven't heard anything. Can you tell me what's going on? So the lady I talked to there said that they hadn't received the parts, and they didn't know it was going to come in, that, you know, they'll keep in touch. That was October 21st. October 22nd, I got my recall notice, which was a joke. So that was that. A couple months later, I got another recall notice. I think it was in early December, maybe December or January. I don't know, one of those months. I got another recall notice. Excuse me, for the same thing. So I figured, great. So I called them up. Oh, it was in December. You know why? Because this is what happened. I called them up. I said, I got another recall notice. I said, I want to know what's going on with my van. I need my van. So I was told, once again, parts weren't in. They didn't know when they were coming in. They were expected February or March. So I called them up in the middle of March. And I said, well, you know, I'm calling for an update. You've had my van since September 21st, and I haven't heard anything. I haven't received anything. And it was the same story. So I got another letter at the beginning of this month, and basically what I thought was a third letter for the same recall turned out to be a letter for a second recall. Same van, new problem, yada yada yada. So basically their story was that the supplier for the rear axles, which was the first recall, they were still in talks about getting all these parts done, this, that, and the other, and the new problem should be resolved rather quickly because they already have these parts from the same supplier. Go figure. I don't know how that all's supposed to work out, and it's a bunch of crap. So I did some research today because I'm quite pissed, and I did some research, and I came across this video on YouTube, and I'm actually gonna provide the link below, so you can see it when I'm done here. Like I said, I saw the Ford recall news report in very late August. I'm gonna say the last week of August, and I turned my van in on September 21st. And I didn't get my letter till October 22nd. So I saw the story that ABC News with Diane Sawyer did on December 21st, 4 days before Christmas. And it was about all these recalls from Ford about the Windstars and the rear axles, you know, cracking, breaking, whatever. And they were doing an interview with this lady, and it broke my heart. And I'm sorry, I don't remember her name, but I wrote down her husband's name. His name was Sean Bowman, and he owned a Ford Windstar. Now, back in October, probably beginning to middle of October, this man who was 28 years old got in his van and was about to go pick up his daughters, I guess from daycare or or school, or because they looked kind of young, so I'm going to say daycare or preschool. So he's on his way there, and he loses control of his car and he crashes and he is killed. His recall letter came a week later. Now I'm sitting here, I'm getting pissed off because my van's not done and this and that and the other, and yet now I'm feeling really guilty because this poor man lost his life, and his two babies, who can't be more than maybe 2, 3, or 4. I mean, there's 2 daughters, you know, lost their father because of their van, because of their family van. So ABC News had a report about why it had taken so long for Ford to figure all this out. And that's what I'd like to know, is why did Ford take so long to figure all of this out? And why did it take them 2 months to send out recall notices when there was a news report on it the last week of August? I mean, that's just uncalled for. You know, when I brought my van to the dealership, I saw a van there. It's exactly the same color as mine. And you know how wheels are supposed to be like this? They're supposed to be nice and straight. The wheels were inverted like this. They were like diagonal. You know, the top was on the inner corner, on the inside of the van, and you know they were like this. Tires are not supposed to go like this. I'm focusing. Tires are not supposed to go like this. And it was just like, you've got to be kidding me. It is a friggin' joke. So what I did today is I went on FordCorporate.com. I got the names of all of the board of directors and the members of the board of directors, and what's the other group I got? Corporate officers, that's it. So needless to say, I plan on writing them a very heinous letter. They've had my van for 6 months. Now I find out that this recall should have been done months before. Okay. Months before than it was. You know, if you think about it, if they had done this recall when they really should have, this poor man would be alive today and he would have had a beautiful Christmas with his kids. So I hope they're happy. I hope Ford's very happy. Because, you know, that's only one story that I know of. I don't know if anybody else has been killed. If they had, I'm sure ABC News would have said something. But, I mean, it's just ridiculous. So, I mean, I'm just thanking God right now that you know, I didn't have the same fate with my van. And I am so sorry for this family. And it breaks my heart. But I'm just wondering what Ford feels. I'm wondering if they feel guilty. I'm wondering if they feel any remorse. I'm wondering, you know, are they going to provide anything for this family? You know, because these kids have no father, and this poor lady, the mother, now has to raise 2 little girls on her own. And in this economy nowadays, that's impossible. And they're talking that it's going to cost Ford hundreds of thousands of dollars. Well, good, it should. But on top of that, too, Ford, you know, what also pissed me off about this, and I'm sorry if I'm going off track here, Ford also said that they would provide us with a rental car. Okay, now, here's the thing. They would provide us a rental car for up to $38 a day. Now, the glitch was they weren't going to pay the daily fee, which was $5 a day, and they weren't going to pay the taxes. Now, taxes in New Jersey are 7%. So, $5 a day, and say I got a car for $38. I'm going to do the math real quick here. I'm sorry, guys, just bear with me. Pull up my calculator. For those of you doing this math at home in your head, I wish you could talk to me through the computer. It'd make my life so much easier. $38 times 20. I don't think that's right. All done. Apparently it was. Alright, so $38. 7% according to this is $2.66 a day. Alright, so figure that's $5 and $2.66 is $7.66 a day. Now, if you times that by 30 days, that's not right. That's $229.80. Now, if you times that by 6 months, that's $1,378.80. Now, if I needed that rent-a-car for this past 6 months, that would have been almost $1,400. I don't have that kind of money. Ford, you know, what am I supposed to do? I'm not working. My husband works, but yet we're barely making it as is because, you know, we have other bills to pay. I mean, I had to take the van off the insurance because I couldn't afford to pay insurance on a van I wasn't driving. I wasn't about to do that because you guys have to hold my van forever. I mean, come on, people. This is freaking ridiculous. And I don't know if Ford just doesn't get it, or if they're just looking the other way, or if they're just dragging their tails. I don't know what the case is, but bottom line, I either want my van back or I want them to give me the monetary value of what it is in excellent condition so I can go and get myself another van. Something I really don't want to do because I love that van, but at the same time, I'm getting sick of this game with them. It's ridiculous. And on top of that fact, I also called Ford in, there in Michigan. I called the Ford company in Michigan. I talked to 2 people who, by the way, were very nice and tried to explain to me what apparently they've been told. But at the same time, you know, oh, you'll get a call from your service manager in 4 days. I never got a call. I've called that man 3 times. I've never heard anything back. I've left 3 messages. Bunch of morons. That's what they are. They're out there. So yeah, that's my rant about Ford today. I'm very pissed off. So I'm gonna be writing a very nice letter. I'll be sure to share it with you as soon as I'm done writing it. Maybe. And then we'll see what happens because, like I said, this is a joke. Okay, guys. So that is my rant. Again, to the family of Sean Bowman in Boston, Massachusetts, I am so sorry for your loss. And I hope that you can overcome this struggle. I know it'll take a long time, but I'm sure with the grace of God and your families that you'll make it. Alright, so I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good night. Take care.